I, as always, am your co-host, Brian, and joining me, as always, is your co-host, Jim.
In space with something. I don't know. I wanted to introduce Hunter, but I don't have like John Cena music.
Do you want to
introduce? Too quick.
Oh,
No.
I'm sorry. Also joining us is your co-host, John Cena. I mean, Hunter.
I know, right? Like I couldn't find it on my phone fast enough. I was underprepared.
I'm still trying to figure out how to use virtual audio cable to make stuff like that.
What's going on, everybody? We're talking about some old shit, and by that I don't mean Bernie Sanders.
Oh, I felt the burn.
Hey, and finally, we have a guest this week joining us from his home at the Upper Memory Block Podcast up in Canada, Joe Mastroianni. Welcome back, Joe.
Oh, man.
No!
The internet broke right then. Damn Canadian internet.
Oh no, folks, we've been having some severe technical issues this evening. I apologize. We actually were using Skype for a bit, and that crapped out on us, so we've moved to Mumble. And Joe was sounding great for a bit, and now he's apparently not.
We're gonna make America great again. We're gonna put up a giant firewall between us and Canada and make the Canucks pay for it.
Oh, we just lost Joe. Oh my God. Could someone drag him in here, please? Jack on
moved in from public channel by
Jack on Twitch. Yeah, I'm sorry. Using Restream, you're never fully sure when the stream is actually going to start, so I've been kind of guessing. So I'm sorry we started mid-word. Joe, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. Sort of, mostly.
Sort of.
Yeah, I don't trust it. It's kind of digitized, but
you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna
check that out. Wow. We can actually kind of hear you.
Yay! But I can cycle my own boat. So I'll be like I'll be gone a minute and then I'll come back. So start and I will jump right in.
Oh my God.
So start without him. Start without him.
Go.
Okay, so this entire topic is Joe's fault, and while he can't defend himself, I'm just going to blame him for everything. Basically, a while back, Joe was doing a show. If you don't know what the Upper Memory Block Podcast is, my friends, it's a fantastic podcast where Joe talks about video games from the DOS and kind of pre-XP, kind of XP Windows era. And he talks about the development history of the game. He talks about, his impressions of the game. He talks about where you can get it. We're going to blame Canada, Jack. So it's a great podcast if you're into older games. It's really just fantastic because he talks about Jagged Alliance one week, Monkey Island the next. So he talks about a lot of great stuff.
Also, it's really well done, so there's that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I could not do a podcast where it's just me talking to a microphone for an hour and a half, but somehow he does it. And he writes it up. He's a pro. He actually has, music, and he edits. Because he doesn't do it live like we do, so he actually, slips in little cues and shit, He's
a professional,
He's a professional, unlike us Goombas, who just kind of throw this shit stuff. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. We've had a child staying with us for the last 2 weeks, and I've been really not cursing as much as possible. But now that the child is locked out, it's probably just going to flow out.
Like Tourette's, man. It's just going to be there.
Because I've been damming it back. Now I'm not actually using the curse word damn. I'm metaphorically a dam, holding back the water of cursing oh my God. It's been so difficult. So,
I like fireflies in the summertime. They're quite nice.
Well, they got the lights in the butt, and they light them. Anyway. So this show...
I said, no, I want a butt light.
Man, I don't know what's happening with Joe. Hopefully we'll get him back, folks. But he is the reason we're talking about this today, because he did a show, I believe, on Monkey Island a couple months back. The original Monkey Island from, what was it, 1988? 89, right? And he actually made a little video of him showing off his vintage Roland MT32 MIDI module. And when I saw that, I'm like, I have to have one. because a lot of older games I play used it. I never was able to afford one at the time because when these things came out, do you guys remember these things? Jim and Hunter, do you remember these things?
Not really. It's a little before me.
Jim?
What things? What?
The Roland MT32. It came out in 1987.
Yeah, the sound card.
Yeah.
Was that pre-Sound Blaster? Or that was
Yes,
right after
That was pre-Sound Blaster.
Pre-Adlib even. The first one came out in 1987, and Sierra actually sold it themselves too. You can get it through Roland, or you can get it through Sierra. And a lot of their games, like King's Quest and Quest for Glory, they just support this thing natively. And so back in the day, a lot of older games would use this thing, and for like the best MIDI sound you can get, and you can get software to emulate it, but I wanted the real thing, so I went to eBay and got one for like $60, which is way down from the $300 to $400 it used to cost. So with Joe's help, I got that working, and then I learned, TIE Fighter. The whole reason I got this actually wants a general MIDI module. So I got another thing, an SC55 sound canvas, which is an actual general MIDI module. And I actually have them both hooked up together. I was going to try and get them working for the show tonight, but I couldn't figure out how to get virtual audio cable to actually work yet. I'm working on it. That thing's complicated, you guys. It also costs money. So I want to be able to sure I can get it to work before I pay for it, you know? It's like $30, that thing. Whoa. So, yeah, right now I think there's a child trying to get into the office, but the door's locked. Thank God. So we were going
like zombies, right? Like the little.
Yeah, he is.
I hear them banging at the door.
Yeah, he is.
And they moan, they drool, they're kind of, they walk drunkenly. Yeah.
Oh my God, dude! If I had a kid, I would teach it. Its first word would be brains, and it would just run around and be like brains.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he is.
And it would crawl, right? So it would be like a creeper. Okay.
No, he's at that age where he can walk now. Or should I say run and stomp.
Are you renting? Is this like a trial run? Like you guys are thinking about this?
Rent a baby.
No, I don't know if everyone.
Kids are expensive. It's like kids and boats and planes. It's like, rent it if you need it, man. Because, You know what's really cool, too? If you're going down to the mall and you want to pick up some chicks, man, you got a friend with a toddler, just borrow the toddler for the day. It's like better than a puppy. But don't have the kid on a leash, though, because it's creepy.
Right. No, our Nicole's best friend had to get out of their house because there's a mold infestation. And they needed a place to stay while they took care of all that mess.
That's how the zombie plague starts, right? It's like
it does seem like that. It does seem like that. So
tangent.
So I've been just super exhausted because I don't know how parents do it, man. I don't. I don't know. More power to you.
Have you ever noticed like
seriously.
Parents always look like shit and like bags under their eyes and like mothers are like they have that crazy wild look in their eye like I'm gonna kill you. That's why. Don't ever have kids, man. I avoided that shit.
It's making me question my whole desire for one. I'm not even kidding.
Just be the kid. Just buy Star Wars toys for yourself and just enjoy it.
Oh, he thankfully he hasn't been trying to play with all my electronic crap. But anyway, so after all that, why don't we talk about old hardware? Because we all grew up with computers. There's probably some old hardware we love. So since Joe is still not here, I'll start with you guys. Jim, throw out like one piece of classic computer gaming related hardware that you have really fond memories of.
Oculus Rift. Well,
Wow.
Yeah. I had a number 9 video card. That was like the first video card that I bought that wasn't like part of the box.
Wait, number 9?
Number 9. That was the name of it. So yes, and it was not a 3D card, but it enabled me to play Total Annihilation at a blazing 800 by 600, which was previously unachievable. Yeah. So my first machine, it was a 486-66, and then I upgraded this beast to a Pentium 60, and that Pentium 60 ran TIE Fighter like amazing. right?
I
could
bet.
get 800 by 600 with the garrote shading on. Garrote, that's like a French word, which is kind of Canadian.
Garage. I have no idea how to say that word. Garage. Garard. Garad. No
Yeah,
idea.
exactly. So, yeah, I had a Matrox Millennium.
Oh,
card at one point.
Matrox.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they sent me a Matrox card from Pseudo, which later became G4 TV. Back whenever I used to do some work with those dudes, and I needed a dual head card, so you could actually have it did mirroring basically. Like if you have two monitors today and you say mirror this display on both monitors, you needed a special card for that back in the day, and that way I could have one thing of it go out to the VCR and the other thing was on my screen, and that way I'm recording my gameplay to the VCR and then I could pull it back in and edit it.
Early
You know,
days of
it's
game
kinda ghetto
capture.
Twitch. Yeah.
Apparently, yeah. I had a Matrox card too in one of my Pentiums. I think it was the Pentium 2. That probably be
Yeah.
interesting. So you said your first machine, your first PC was a 486. Was that your first PC?
Yep. 4666 because I
So
was
you-
an Amiga man.
Oh, I was
before
gonna
that.
say. So you kind of got in
So-
late. You kind of got in
Yeah,
late.
so okay, favorite piece of hardware
Sure.
was probably the speech synthesizer on my TI-99 4A because I could play Parsec.
Hey, you know,
and it would
someone
talk to
else,
me.
someone on Facebook also mentioned the T99 4A, the Texas Instruments computer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
that thing
I
was
didn't
nice.
have one. I didn't have one. I wanted one. I
I was,
coveted it.
I was super pissed, man. I worked for like 2 months on a game, and I had it saved on a cassette tape. And this guy
Yes.
was, like a friend of my mom's was over, and he was taping some records and stuff. And I guess he ran out of cassettes, so he just grabbed mine, thinking like, oh, I'll just use this, whatever. And he taped freaking Golden Earring over top of my thing, and oh, I was super pissed. But it was also like to save a 64K program would take like 20 minutes.
Oh, I know,
It would
right?
Damn near fill up a whole tape. It was redonkulous.
No, the
So
first.
I found the tape deck up in the attic of the garage when we were cleaning that out.
Oh my God,
and,
you still have it. That's amazing.
Yes, and it had duct tape over the tone and volume knobs because if you moved that shit, you were never gonna read your stuff. So there was like the sweet spot, and if you know, and I was just like, oh God, I remember why that's there.
Don't
Yes.
touch it.
Yeah, man.
Right. So, so you were Amiga before the PC. You were Amiga guy.
Well,
Good.
I was okay. So it started out with the TI, and my buddy had a Commodore 128.
Oh,
right?
nice.
Mike Cope, you've talked to him.
Yeah.
And he had a 128. I was at his house actually when my 99 blew up. It just died.
Oh
one
no,
day,
that
and
must have
it
been
was so sad.
crushing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and but see, I had like a lot of savings bonds stuffed in a drawer because it was like, you know, every year for my birthday, Grandpa would give me like a $20 savings bond or whatever. So they had matured at that point, and I was just like, yeah, college money, or I could buy an Atari 800. Okay, screw college. I'm getting an Atari, and I got an Atari 800, not the XL, the old school Atari 800.
Oh, we got a
and-
mention of that on Twitter today. Someone, BitGamer X, that was his favorite. His first true digital
Oh, cool.
love, he said.
Yep, and I had a 300 baud modem for that bad boy. It plugged in
Ooh.
the joystick port, and yep, it was awesome. And I had
Screaming.
a term program and stuff. Yeah, and then I graduated to an Atari 800 XL. I had a little bit of legal issues. I didn't. Well, I had a stern talking to from a man in a tie that said that I probably should not do the things I was doing. So my mother shredded my computer wires with a pair of scissors. Yeah,
What?
because well, yeah,
Dumbcast
there was-
moved in
there
from
was
public
issues.
channel by Table for
But but anyway, statute of limitations is long past on that. But you know, but anyways, yeah. And so I didn't even have a computer for like 3 years. My last 3 years of high school. I know, right? It was like serious withdrawal.
Oh,
And,
God.
Awful stuff.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
Joe's back, and you actually sound good. What'd you do?
I strangled my modem for a few minutes and I woke up.
Oh, excellent.
Welcome back, Joe. We're talking about like our first computers.
Right.
Yeah. So I joined the army and I bought a Commodore 64 from another guy in the barracks that was like deploying off to Korea and didn't want to haul it over there. So I got a 64 on the cheap, and yeah, so I had that for a long time, about 4 years, and then I got an Amiga 500, and that was like as I was getting out of the military, I picked up the Amiga, and I had the Amiga until I bought that 486, which I got the 486 in like 96. I think it was.
Good time to get a
So,
PC.
yeah.
Oh, real good time to get a PC. Damn.
Yeah. Or no, it was 95 because it was before
Yeah.
Windows 95 came out. So I had
Oh.
Windows 3.11 for a little while. And yeah. So basically it was all DOS all the time, right? Until that. But the first games that I bought when I bought the computer was TIE Fighter, X-Wing, and XCOM. This
Good.
is the trifecta.
That's
for
the good,
1994.
excellent choice. Oh, for 1994, hell yeah. Oh man, 94. Oh, it was a good year. It's a
Yeah.
good
So,
year.
but I remember when Wing Commander came out. You guys are talking about the Roland card. My neighbor, when I lived down in Georgia, he had Wing Commander, and you know I had my Amiga down there, and I was just like, man, this thing's pimp. And he's like, no, come over here, play some Wing Commander. And I checked that out, and it was just like, oh my god, I couldn't believe it. It was mind blowing.
Yeah, Wing Commander on the MT32 is like night and day from like anything else.
Yeah, Joe's got a little open mic going on over here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are having some
So-
issues.
So is this
It's
is
okay.
this inspired by that sound card thing that you bought? Because I saw you brought some kind of external sound.
That's what the
breakout box
yeah
thing.
the MT32 and the SC55 are both external MIDI modules, and they hook up to with a USB cable to your computer, and then you got a finagle DOS box and whatnot. I got a lot of help from Joe, by the way, who
Well, you know, if you get an ancient sound card, then you can get one of those old joysticks and just plug into the game port.
Straight into the
Back of
game
your
port. Yeah,
sound
the
card.
MIDI port.
Yeah, man.
that is the plan. I am going to be building a legacy PC with all that eventually. I just got the first pieces of it, which are 2 Voodoo 2 cards with SLI cables.
Oh,
I was gonna
man.
say you're gonna put
That's
those
gonna
those babies in
that's gonna
SLI.
Shit, yeah, that's the only way to go with Voodoo 2. God, why even bother otherwise?
So, like, the first 3D game that I ever saw, hell, maybe it was the first 3D game, was they made that GL Quake, which was a
Oh,
a design
yeah.
mod for Quake.
Mhm.
And it
Yeah.
was just like, and the magazines had like full 2-page wide spreads of high res Quake. You know, it was like running with textures and stuff. And I was like, oh my god, it's incredible. And I was just like, I gotta get one of those. So yeah.
So wait, Hunter, you're probably the youngest of us. What was your first computer?
Well, the first computer, it wasn't really my computer, but the first computer I remember actually playing games on was a computer that my brother had built for my dad for doing like office work or whatever. And this was somewhere in the early 90s. I want to say between like 92 and 93. And games such as like Silent Service and stuff like that is what I had my first experience with.
Oh man.
The first computer that I had that was actually a gaming computer, I didn't get until 2000. I want to say 2002 or 2003. Was my first actual gaming PC that my brother again helped me. Actually, he like bought all the parts and like came down and showed me how to put it all together. So I got like a crash course in computers essentially, and then from there, I remember I bought my first ATI card. And AGP was the hotness, right?
AGP,
so-
oh my god, AGP.
The advanced graphics port.
That was the big
Right.
deal for so long. Like, ooh, AGP.
It was like it felt like AGP was just like always going to be a thing, right? And so but I mean, like before that though, like I had games, I had a lot of PC games, but I was always playing like on my dad's computer in his office or something like that. So I remember like, you know, in the late 90s, I had some of the TIE Fighter games, and then Dark Forces. I remember playing the crap out of some Dark Forces. So just things like that. But really my first experience was in the early aughts with buying all that stuff. And then I had I remember I was the talk of the town when I got the ATI Radeon All-in-Wonder 9800.
Oh, the All in Wonder.
Oh yeah, the old wonder. Oh
You know,
yeah.
that thing was awesome. It was the 256 meg. You know, the 256 meg card.
You're cooking with gas
And-
now.
You want to talk about like Halo on the PC? That shit looked glorious. And then
Oh my god.
I think America's Army like.
Oh
needed it
god,
or something
America's
like that.
Army. Yeah.
So.
Oh my god.
And then after that card crashed, I switched over to I think one of the 5000 series of the GTX cards, the GeForce NVIDIA cards that were around at the time. That was probably around 2004, 2005 when I got an NVIDIA card, and I've been buying NVIDIA cards ever since. So
It really is the way to go, isn't it?
I think so. I mean, people get really good performance out of the AMD cards. I guess that are. Oh, we lost Joe again.
God.
I guess they're the formerly the ATI cards, right? But AMD has them now. And they're not bad cards. You know, a lot of people have had really great success with them. I've just had tons of driver issues, and I've had friends that have had tons of driver issues, and I'm not necessarily against them, but I'm not for them either. But you know, with the whole thing, with the way technology is going now, with the way like the DirectX, I guess the newest DirectX, and I think either was it Vulkan or Mantle or something like that, it's going to allow for using two completely different types of graphics cards. So like that's going to be a thing, and so like having an AGP card or AGP, Jesus Christ, having an AMD card and an NVIDIA card wouldn't be a problem at that point. So that's kind of something to look forward to. I'm actually kind of looking forward to like when that actually comes out and works. But yeah, no, totally. First computer, it was it ran Windows 98, and
Yes.
my experience with that is I was talking about this in the Slack chat. We didn't have broadband when broadband came out, right? Like my dad was a horrible adopter of the broadband, and we had broadband all the way through. I mean, I had dial-up all the way up through 2005, and when I like moved out of the house when I was 18.
Were your parents some of them Luddites that still had a rotary phone like in 2005?
No.
Because that was my mother. She had
No.
a rotary phone to the day she died. And that was 2007.
No, so we just had dial-up, right? And I remember before that in like 98, with my friends, we would play StarCraft over a modem-to-modem connection, via, I guess, in some cases, well, there was BattleNet. You could dial into BattleNet, but this was like not even then. This was definitely.
Yeah, I mean, did you hook a null modem cable, one machine to the other? Like,
oh yeah, we did
you
that
could do a
too.
serial cable
We did that too. Yep. That was like our 1v1 LAN party. So yeah, that was my experience with that. But I mean, the modem stuff was quite interesting, right? Because just like the way the technology worked, because now like you look back on it, they had to put out a patch. Like Blizzard actually had to put out a patch just to make StarCraft work because it was trying to use IPX, and everybody's like, "What the fuck's IPX?" Like,
All right. Yeah, what is IPX? I don't remember that.
It's like the thing before TCP/IP.
I
Right,
actually
exactly.
do know what it is. It's just like
Okay.
it's been so long.
It has.
You know, it's been so long since I've heard. I'm like, what is that? Welcome back, Joe. What's going on over there?
There's apparently
Romulans.
basically. Apparently, there's a weird sort of issue going on with my ISP. So it's not just me; it's Toronto. So, anyways, I'll hold on.
It's Tuesday, man. We always have issues like this on Tuesdays.
It's really weird because it literally is like the internet reboots. Steam decides to stop working. Like everything on Tuesdays just don't work.
It's Warcraft maintenance. That's why. Everyone's trying to get back on.
So, Joe, did we talk about your first computer? I don't think we did because you kept popping in and out. Do you remember?
Right, we didn't. So as long as I'm still on.
Go.
The first computer I ever actually owned was a Pentium 3, so we don't have to talk about that.
Woo!
later on. But because we always had a family computer, my dad was well, he's alive, but he was a programmer. He's not a programmer anymore. So we always had computers. The first one that I had access to was an Apple II.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And so, we played a bunch of stuff.
Cannonball Blitz up on that.
Yeah,
thing.
that stuff, and like Load Runner, and
wow,
Troll's Tale, and and it had like the black and so it wasn't an Apple II.
God damn.
Oh no, Joe. Joe, come back to us, Joe.
Oh, no.
Oh, Canada. Silly.
Canada is for lovers.
This is not fair. I've been looking forward to this episode for weeks.
It's Putin, man. Putin is like tanking down the internet. He's trying to
Stop.
sabotage the
Hey, Putin, stop Putin.
Putin on the Ritz.
I am sorry, folks. We are having some. Oh wait. Oh, I'm sorry, folks. We are having some just severe technical issues this week.
So the question, I guess, is, do we want to just make a BS session out of this, and then we'll maybe take Thursday night and do this, right?
Yeah, let's we'll reschedule. We'll do the hardware talk another time. You know what'd be great though? Let's talk about the games we're playing and stuff, because let's just do a BS session, because
and now Hunter will speak for 45 minutes about Pulsar.
Oh my god, folks, we really wanted to
Don't tempt me.
We really did want to talk to Joe about old computers and old computing hardware, but since he keeps dropping out, we're probably just going to reschedule this topic for another time.
There is a shirt that we should all get.
Yeah.
Especially for you, Brian. And it says
Sasha Grey is my power animal.
No. It says ask me about old hardware.
Woo! I'm looking that up right now. I'll wear it, and that'll give me time to, because what I wanted to do, I just thought of this today, I wanted to find a way to play MIDI files through my MT32 over the mic so we all could hear it as we talked. And I would have to learn how to use virtual audio cable, and I would have to learn how to use Foobar 2000 components. So yeah, that's that. I tried to learn all that today. Didn't work. I'm still figuring it out. So virtual audio cable, you guys. That program is crazy. Oh my god. I want to learn how to do it, because if I learn how to do that, you guys, we can use anything and I can record it. Discord.
I can show you how to do that, sir.
You know how to use virtual audio cable?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my god.
Trained professional.
Okay, yeah.
Voice meter banana, that's where you need to be.
I thought it was actual virtual audio cable.
Well, that comes with, right? But yeah, it's voice metered. And then you can take any sounds, anything that generates sound, like a particular program or a certain port or whatever, and wire it and have it come out your headphones and go into Skype and whatever. You can even do like a mix minus where you want to cut something out of a call or whatever. And yeah, you can totally do all that. Like let's say you want to reflect audio back to somebody, but you don't want to send their voice back to them. You can actually mix them out of what you send out.
Oh, so these are two separate. These are two separate programs. It looks like, because there's voice meter.
It brings the virtual audio cable with voice meter. There's two different voice meters. There's regular plain old voice meter, and then there's voice meter banana, which is the one that you want because it's got the recording stuff built right into it. And
is that VBAN?
No, I'll send you a link to it. It's
okay.
Specifically voice meter.
Okay.
MEETER.
Yeah, no, guys, we're using. We had severe problems with Skype, so we're using Mumble right now. That is our chat program of choice, because I thought it had better sound quality than TeamSpeak, so that's why I chose it. But yeah, we were going to talk about old hardware like MIDI modules and joysticks and stuff. But we're going to have to table that. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, it's kind of integral to have Joe on here from the Upper Memory Block podcast, because he's kind of the inspiration for this whole idea. So it wouldn't be really fair to not have
Well,
him
he's the
on.
guy that talked you into that whole rolling box, right?
He didn't really talk me into it. What he did was he made a video of him playing Monkey Island through it, and it sounded amazing. And I was like, I need one of those in my life. I need one of those so badly. And
So
then,
is
and
it
they're
like
not hard to.
audiophile, like you get better warmth because of the vacuum tubes and stuff in it.
It sounds
instead of digital.
It just sounds so natural, like it was made for this unit. It just sounds beautiful. I can't play it for you because you wouldn't be able to hear it because I don't have the right software running. But you could I've got some videos up on the Space Game Junkie YouTube channel where you can hear the difference between like DOSBox's emulated Sound Blaster 16, which is what they use by default, and the actual because you can set it up properly to use the MT32 or the SC55, and it uses the actual MIDI, and it sounds so nice. It just sounds like,
cool.
oh, this. I'm back in 1994, and this is how life should have been, you know? Because TIE Fighter with this shit running, oh my god, serious.
Oh
man.
yeah, because the MIDI stuff actually behaves itself. I bet.
Exactly.
Awesomes.
Oh, so I feel bad because Weirdo 3116 on YouTube. Yeah, Skype is horrible, and we actually went away from it for a while. But then so many people seem to have a problem getting Mumble to run. We're like, let's go back to Skype because it's just easier. And now we're having Skype issues like every freaking week. It's so frustrating. Like, there's no one great way to do this. We'd use Discord, but apparently Discord has a lot of sound issues. Not just you guys were saying it earlier, but other people have reported that Discord has sound issues. Like, you start sounding...
Yeah, I'm not like a huge fan of it yet. Like they're getting there. Like they're getting there, right? But it's just
they sound all digitized. Like I've used it a few times, and it sounds like some people just go in and out. Some people sound like they're robots. You know, it's really frustrating because it sounds like a great service. Like it sounds like exactly what we want to use. You know, maybe we should try Google Hangouts at some point. I don't know.
We could. I've used it in the past. It's not that bad.
It has its own issues, though. It has its own issues, and it's also not the easiest thing to use. Like,
it has its own issues. But if you turn off the video portion of it, it actually is it's like making a phone call.
Yeah, like I've used it for I use Google Voice, so I've used it for actual phone calls.
And Google Voice works great. I love Google Voice.
Oh yeah, I wish we could get that to work somehow.
We can.
Oh, we'll have to figure this out somehow because it's like we're not fully happy with Mumble. We're really not happy with Skype. We're not fully happy with Discord. Maybe we gotta give Hangouts a try. It's just a struggle. The struggle is real, you guys.
The struggle is real? What's Israel got to do with this?
Nothing. It's all Hamas's fault. No.
Anyway.
So yeah, let's talk about what we've been playing lately. Hun, let's start with you. If you want to talk about Pulsar, please. You don't have to talk about Pulsar for 40 minutes. But I haven't played Pulsar in a long while because the last time I played it, maybe about 5-6 months ago, it still felt pretty incomplete. But you have seemed to recently. How'd you find it? And two, I mean, what like drew you to it? And what has got you so jacked about it now?
Well, okay, so we've played games like Artemis and Quintet before, right? Where it's these starship simulator type games, right? You know, each person takes a position of the crew and you guys go out on your own Star Trek like adventure, right? 5-year mission, go explore this galaxy.
Right.
But the thing, and both Artemis and Quintet are great in their own individual right. Like they both have really great things about them individually, and then they both have things that I don't like about them. Right. One of the things that I absolutely love about Artemis and Quintet is the fact that you can actually have different people crewing different ships. So you can have multiple crews on multiple ships doing stuff. I really like that, and that's really cool. The problem, though, that I run in with Quintet and Artemis is that the feature set on what you can do is quite limited. It's just it's very limited scenarios on what you can do.
True. That's good for accessibility, but when you want to get into the nitty gritty, Pulsar.
There's not a lot there with those games. And then the thing that I also really like about Quintet, for example, is how extremely accessible that game is. I mean, you're talking about web browsers, phones, tablets, compute. Like, oh my God, you can play it on almost anything, and that is pretty awesome. Now, having hyped that up, I'll have to say this. Pulsar's got some stuff going on. And the one thing that I really like about Pulsar is it's not just like a terminal in front of your face. You actually have an avatar that you walk around the ship with. And so if something starts to fudge up in engineering, you got to run back to engineering. Like, you actually have to physically go there. And that's something that you don't get with Artemis or with Quintet. And so the sense of urgency is heightened a lot more in that scenario. The other thing is the game is kind of like a roguelike, right?
Oh,
so
really?
Yeah, Pulsar. So Pulsar is definitely like a roguelike, because you start off with a ship that has guns and weapons on it, and you can just go out into the galaxy and start shooting stuff, exploring stuff, doing whatever you want, right? And then occasionally, like Command Central will send you a mission to do, which you can actually go and turn those off and say, I'm just exploring the galaxy, stop sending me missions.
Ooh.
But you have to go talk to a person at the starting station to be like, hey, I'm going to go exploring, don't give me any missions. But the cool thing about the station, as I was doing some more exploring today, there is a lot that you can do at the station. There's a lot of people you can get missions and quests from. There's a lot you can upgrade your ship with. There's a lot to go out and explore, a lot of planet stuff. Now, I will say the game feels a little slow at times because there is no jump feature and there is no running feature that Pulsar has.
Oh, yeah.
So I can't hold shift to run faster. So you're stuck at one pace throughout your entire experience. And that is one thing that is frustrating about Pulsar. But I've played a little bit with Jim, and I played a little bit with our good friend Cloudvolt, and I have to say there's a lot going on with this game, even though it's still in early access, I guess.
Yeah.
It's got very positive reviews on Steam, and I'm very much enjoying my experience. I've got a saved ship so far. I've upgraded it quite a bit. I've got fast recharging railguns on it now, and I've got 2 missile launchers on it, and so I've been getting into some engagements in combat.
Nice.
And what's cool too is the NPCs are technically competent. By that I mean they'll direct you into they'll fly the ship in the direction of the ships that you're trying to hit. So if you want to man a gun, you don't have to worry about the damn NPC is not facing the right way. They'll actually face you the right way. The engineer guy will actually charge up the warp drive for you and keep the core temperature at a good level. So I mean, it's pretty competent. You can play it by yourself, but it's a lot more fun. It's a lot more fun when you can play it with friends.
That's the whole point, I believe.
It is, but I mean, I've been able to enjoy myself in a solo scenario as well. But what's nice about it is your friends can just jump in with you. You can just save where you're at, relaunch it in a multiplayer thing, and they can just join you.
Oh, nice.
Right. So I've got a ship. I've died once, and I had to start over once. And ever since then, I've been building up my secondary ship and been quite successful and having a lot of fun with it.
I believe we're going to be playing that next Thursday. Isn't that right? I think we put that on the calendar for next Thursday.
I believe so.
Nice.
Spaz and Cloud, and if Jim wants to get on board, I think we got a good crew of people playing. So
yeah, it's been a while since I loaded it up. So I mean, I try to get in touch with the devs, but I haven't heard back. They're probably really busy. But yeah, we're gonna be playing that on next Thursday, which is exciting. Jim, what have you been playing lately?
Currently playing Alien Isolation, which is super creepy.
That's why I'm not playing.
Yeah. I'm surprised that you haven't beat that game yet, Jim.
No, I dabble with it here and there, but the cool thing is that Dan's dad is super fan of the whole Alien franchise. and it's like, oh, it's Dad's birthday. Let's get him something with aliens. Get him a freaking face hugger or whatever, right? So he's easy to shop for. But he's played like Aliens, Colonial Marines, and whatnot, but he has not played Alien Isolation, right? So I pestered Dan to the point where he finally got it for him, and I was like, okay, now you got to set up OBS and get your dad a microphone, and I want to watch your dad play Alien Isolation. So that sweet treat may be coming up in the very near future.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
We've
his dad's like mid-70s, I think, or so, if not older. So yeah, I mean it's kind of like, he's like Grandpa Aliens. It's cool. So we're gonna see the real deal. He's gonna be the next PewDiePie, I'm sure.
Jim and I have also been playing a good bit of Arma 3 lately too.
Oh, did you guys get
so much Arma.
the Apex add-on?
Yes,
we did, and it is hot.
It made a fascinating difference in that game.
It adds a ton of crap, doesn't it? Like it adds a whole new
Yeah,
island.
it does a graphics
significant.
overhaul too.
Oh, jeez.
It is quite significant.
That game looks pretty great. I played Starbound this week. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was reading that, you were all like, oh god, so boring. But you had a good time with us, so is it the deal of like single player it's boring, but with people it's better?
It might be. It also, like, here's the thing. I find as I get older, I have less and less patience for survival-based games. Like, I don't want to collect flowers and build a table. I just want to kill shit. That stuff.
Oh, don't ever get
stuff.
Ark.
Yeah, I have it, I think. And I just haven't, I think I have it.
Oh, really? If you've not experienced it at all, I think you probably should.
With us.
Jump on my server. Yeah, my server is a little different than your stock server, but it's like I took a lot of the tedium out, right? Because it's like dinosaurs train fast instead of like, oh, I got 4 hours to sit here and feed this thing berries. It's like, no, ain't nobody got time for that.
I thought I had
it's
it.
enough. Like when shit gets killed, you're pissed anyway, because just getting it knocked out is enough without the whole torture of trying to defend it for hours while it like trains. So yes.
I thought I got it in a Humble Bundle. Oh, I do have it. I just didn't see it.
Yeah, see, there you go. You should totally jump on there some night and play that with us, because it's, like I said, a different experience.
Keyword. Hey, stop it.
Yeah, but see, you don't
Stop
even
it.
have to do all the gathery crap, right? Because we already did all that shit. It's just like, hey, there's a dinosaur. Get on it and ride around like you're a cowboy.
Well, I don't know if you guys
Like your He-Man.
I don't know if you guys have played a game called Roguelands, but that is a similar game to like Terraria and this. But the nice thing
Yeah,
about
I like Roguelands a lot.
Yeah, it's
very
great.
actiony.
It's-
It's more like a Metroid game.
Yeah, see, that's what I like about it. It's very actiony. You have a little robot that does the gathering for you while you do all the killing and the slaying. So I really like
So
that.
it's kind of like Warframe in that way.
Yeah, I
You
much
have
prefer
a
that. I
little-
much prefer that.
It's a bit, right? It floats over you.
Yeah, it's like a little bit, and it floats over you. It's like, go collect all that stuff, and you're like, it'll be like,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Exactly. While you're like, I'm gonna go kill this thing. You do all that. Okay. Da-da-da-da-da-da. It's very much more actiony, which is what I need, I think. So it gets a little better, but at the same time, it's just like, eh. Yeah, it might be better with people than without, because I was just getting really bored, like super bored, like oh my god, bored. It's just I don't think those games are for me anymore. Which is kind of sad, because I used to love games like that, But now I feel like if I want to fucking plant a seed, I'll go out and make a garden. Like I don't want to work in my game, That's kind of how I feel about it. But for next week, I started playing Starfleet 1. Did you ever play that, Jim?
God.
Yeah. The
Is Starfleet, that's the one with the boarding actions and whatnot.
it does have
stuff.
boarding actions. Yes, it does. It's
That's
like
the one that has the horrific UI, right?
well, it's actually, if you've played one of the older Trek games, like Trek 73 or Begin or EGA Trek, it actually has one of the better interfaces of that whole ilk, honestly.
Yeah, but it's like a super compacted, because they only had like 320 by 200.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
They tried to cram like a whole UI.
Oh,
into that
yeah.
mess. So yeah, I remember it being predominantly orange.
Yeah, there's a lot of
And,
orange.
yeah.
There's a lot of orange.
Yeah.
I actually am going to play the sequel this week as well. I never played the sequel when it
Wasn't
came
that
out.
Interstellar that made that thing?
Yep. Yeah, it was Interstellar, and the sequel actually has planetary landings.
So
and,
there was
and stuff.
there was a game called Breach that Interstellar made that actually combines with
No,
that one.
no, that combines with the rules of engagement games, which is
Oh,
I think those were published by Interstellar. But yeah, Breach 2 works with Rules of Engagement 1, and then Breach 3 works with Rules of Engagement 2. So you can have
Maybe
boarding
it's Rules
action.
of Engagement that I'm talking about playing.
You might be thinking the
Yeah.
interface for Rules of Engagement is better than Starfleet 1. Yeah, Starfleet 1 is completely ASCII based, and it uses
Oh,
function
alright, yep.
keys.
It was Rules of Engagement for sure then.
Yeah, yeah. The Rules of Engagement looked like the Lacars interface from Next Generation.
Yep,
That's what Rules
yep.
of Engagement looked like. I miss those games so much. But I've also been in a wargaming mood recently. Like I got a discount card from Matrix, and for 41% because I've been with them for 12 years. Thanks, Matrix/Slytherin. So I got their remake of Close Combat 3.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Cross of Iron it's called. That was my favorite of the Close Combat games.
Yeah, so there was a cool mod for that one. I cannot remember what the mod was. It was like a Conf Group A thing, but
yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. The big mod was
Yeah.
for the fifth Close Combat game. It was actually it was called Okinawa, and you actually had to buy it on a disc. But it was like a whole separate game, but that just happened to use Close Combat 5. But it was Okinawa. It was really good, actually. I'm kind of a Close Combat nut. Kind of.
Yeah, I like it. I have Panthers in the Fog. I think it's the one.
Yeah, yeah. There are a
If
few
you
of
ever
them on
want to
Steam now.
multiplayer that thing, man, go for it. What is the deal? There's a new one, right? That it's not Close Combat, but it sure looks like Close Combat that somebody made.
Oh,
and put on Steam.
oh.
It was like $8.
Oh, God, hang on. I'm looking it up because I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, how's the reviews on that?
I can't remember. Hang on.
Oh yeah, and speaking of reviews, the Marvel, whatever the hell that was that came out today, Ultimate something, I can't remember the name of them, but the old Marvel games that came out, and they priced them absurdly at $40 each or $60 for the two. It was Ultimate Alliance, yeah, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, ridiculous, and the reviews
Right?
are horrific. So I went and read the reviews because I thought it was just going to be people wailing about the price. No, because apparently gamepad support is busted out of the box. Like, did you guys QA it or what? So, because everybody's like, my Xbox controller doesn't work, and the back button, the block button is actually back and stuff. It's like,
What?
yeah, that needs some fixing.
Well, the game is called Firefight, the one you were thinking of. It's
Yeah,
$10 right now, and the reviews are kind of positive. But there are a few negative ones. But I'm definitely going to get it at some point because Close Combat. You know, I
Right.
mean, guys, if you've never played the Close Combat games, they were made special because they modeled morale and soldier health down to the individual level.
Yeah, that was the first game that ever did that too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that morale actually mattered. It's like, you killed my guy, I'm out of hit points. No, it doesn't matter. I suppressed him. I fired a whole lot of bullets, and now they don't want to listen to orders anymore.
Yeah,
right?
they're just
And
running
that was the
away.
first
They're
game
just
that
they're
did
just
it.
running
Yeah.
away or digging a hole for themselves to try and escape or something. And
Yep.
you could watch what every one of them does. You can have a little window up that shows you what each unit in each squad is doing. Are they running? Are they healthy? You know, are they scared? Are they terrified? You know, you could see all that. And that really adds something to the combat, man. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, it totally does. Well, especially whenever you can be like, hey, just suppress those guys over there and make them put their heads down, and they're not looking, right? So then I can move troops around the side or do
Yeah.
whatever. Which actually works. So yes.
Yeah, those games were amazing. Jack is saying in Twitch that adaptations of the Squad Leader game. And yes, that's exactly what they are. And they're really good adaptations from what I'm told. I never played those board games because they sounded crazy. Like, you need 8 hours to play this. Like, well, thanks.
Oh yeah, man, Advanced Squad Leader. It's like good luck with that.
Yeah, I've heard.
I'm surprised that they have not made a PC version of it. Like now there was one. It was called Squad Leader, but it was more like an XCOM kind of game, where you ran individual soldiers
and apparently it wasn't that good.
It was not that good. The UI was pretty horrific on it, and it was an okay-ish game, but it wasn't great. And it aged about as well as the original XCOM, right? So yeah, for what that's worth. But I am surprised that nobody has actually just made a damn Advanced Squad Leader, especially since Avalon Hill as a company is long dead, right? So it could be done.
Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, I think which is sad because they put out some good stuff.
All right, I'm gonna get Grigsby on the phone. We're gonna make him.
He's too busy making those giant.
I know that's the problem, right? It's like he makes these games that are so stinking super epic. He locks out like 90% of his potential audience.
That's why they
because
cost
it's
so
just
much.
Way overcomplicated.
Like
Yeah, he needs to make something that's approachable again, right? I don't know.
Agreed.
Maybe that's the role of everybody else now. Is like follow Gary's lead, but make it approachable and small.
Agreed.
That was really cool getting to meet him. By the way, that whenever we went to that thing.
That's right. I forgot about
I
that.
sat straight across the table from Gary Grigsby, and I was just like,
And he was so
This is
nice.
awesome.
That's
This is
right.
awesome.
He was so nice.
yeah,
And
because I was like, dude, man, I had as we started talking out about old computers, right? Like my Atari 800, man, I had Kampfgruppe on that shit, and I played the hell out of it. That and Wargame Construction Kit. And,
oh yes, the
various
the SSI War Game Construction Kit,
yeah,
Age
all
of
that good
Rifles,
SSI
and
stuff.
Age of Tank. Oh god, someone said today that if they could put any amount of money into anything, it would be to bring like Microprose back, and all those war games.
Oh
and
yeah,
Flight
Microprose
Sims.
is a good time.
Oh, guys, if you remember Microprose, so many memories. And almost all of them good. I think the only bad memory I had with the Microprose game was Across the Rhine.
Yeah, what happened with Microprose?
They got
I
bought
don't
out by
understand.
Spectrum Holobyte, and then just
Spectrum Holobyte went to
and
shit.
they had Spectrum Holobyte pretty much went to shit, and Microprose just pretty much went off to die.
That really sucks.
It sure does. God. Oh yeah, so that's kind of what we've been playing. Close Combat. I got some of the AGIOD games, and I've been learning that stuff. That's a complicated system, but once you start learning, you're like, oh, this isn't so bad.
And
Yeah.
we've talked about it briefly in the last couple shows, but I am still working my way through Elite Force 2.
Nice, yeah. Folks, by the way, we're friend of the show and 3-time guest Chris Stockman worked on Elite Force 2. So in a couple of weeks, we're going to have him back on to talk about that game. And
We should have him on a Thursday night. Where
that's the plan. That's the plan. We're going to
Apparently, there's a really interesting story about the release of that game and some kind of interesting things that happened. So he's going to share about that too.
And then that Thursday, we're going to have multiplayer of it. We got to test it to make sure it works over Evolve.
Yeah,
But it probably
was that
will.
A Raven joint.
I
was,
think
was
so.
Raven still doing it then?
I'm not sure. Hang on. I don't remember. Looking
oh wow,
it up
I found a
now.
really cool bug in Alien. So Hunter, pull my stream up. This is pretty.
Are you
fun.
streaming right now as we're doing this?
Afterwards.
I am.
Dude.
I'm streaming the podcast. We have podcast audio.
Oh, it was
while I play this
Ritual.
game.
It was Ritual. I think Raven did the first one, and then Ritual did the second one.
There's a ghost on the space station.
Yeah, Raven did the first one, and then Ritual Entertainment did the second one. And
A lot of the same assets, though, I think were carried over.
I think so, but it was just a bigger and in a lot of ways better game. I mean, not that Elite Force 1 was a bad game, but Elite Force 2 improved on it Elite Force 2 did what a sequel should do. Is take what made the original game great and just add more stuff and make it even better. You know. So Elite Force 2 is like a really good example of a sequel done right. You know.
Correct.
So yeah, I've got it installed. It runs. It's such a pleasure, you guys, when you install an old game that's actually still on disc. You can't get it digitally, and it just runs.
Yes, shockingly, you just install it. Like it runs even on Windows 10.
Yeah,
So
Windows
it's not like
7.
you had to mod it up
Nope.
or anything.
Nope.
Nope.
I'm not running.
You can go in after you've installed it and adjust an INI file that lets you run it at like a proper resolution for your monitor, but you don't even need to do that.
Nope. No, it looks great. It runs great right out of the box. It's so amazing. Like, yeah, so many disc games. Like, oh, I don't know if this is going to work. Let's hope. Oh, the installer won't run. Okay, I have to copy everything over and then copy this
Yeah,
exe
it's like
file.
you can't run this 16-bit installer on your 30 or on your 64-bit.
Exactly. But this one, no problem. Out of the box. Was really just a pleasant surprise. Really just a pleasant. You know what, Hunter? Do you have the game? You have the game installed. Why don't we just try and get this freaking thing running right now? What do we got? What do we got to do?
Honestly, I don't know. I would assume we need the Evolve stuff going. So
I've already got Evolve running. Let me load up.
let me boot up my stuff here.
Folks, we're going to have an impromptu test of Elite Force 2. Bruce, sadly no, on YouTube. Sadly no. Whoa. Yeah, the stream just stopped.
Super good.
Okay, we seem to be back now. Sorry, folks, on the stream. I don't know why, but for some reason,
Romulans.
yeah, for some reason, What's-a-Huey just stopped.
Putin.
For some reason, Restream just said offline all of a sudden, so I had to restart OBS.
It's Romulans, aka Putin.
Yeah, hang on. Okay, it looks like I have the disc for Elite Force and everything in there, so let me see if I can get this thing running. 1 second, folks. One sec.
Yeah, I'm still getting a couple things squared away with this.
Oh, you guys gonna try the Elite Force business right now?
Yep.
Yep.
Awesome.
Also, Windows 10. Join. Oh shit! I gotta.
Oh, there it is. I got it.
Yeah, but my adapter is turned off. I actually have to turn that shit back on.
I can't see the chat anymore, though. That stinks.
There it is. All right.
I'm gonna turn on the music 1 second. All right. I'm gonna start a server.
Go for it. I'll be there in just a second. I'm trying to get the disk to load up now. There it goes. Oop, that's loud.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Match started.
Surprise, surprise.
You are now tied for the lead.
Okay, I'm having a problem with my mouse. Hold on.
They have a batleth in this thing.
Yes.
That's great. Hang on a second, folks.
Did you drop it?
Yeah, I killed it because OBS does not want to pick it up. Hang on a second.
Yeah, you have to. You actually have to window capture it.
Even if it's full screen, will it window capture, or do you have to run it in a window?
It'll capture it when it's full screen. You might actually have to Alt Enter and then Alt Enter again. Like you have to. You might have to put it in a window and then full screen it after you start capturing it.
Got it. Hang on a second.
It's a little finicky. That's what I had to do.
Hang on, folks.
But some update recently has dicked with my mouse, and so like I play these old games in my mouse settings.
What? It's really weird. It's not capturing the whole thing.
Did you Alt Enter and make it full screen again?
No.
Try it.
Nope. So weird. Hang on.
I mean, I'm not talking about like window. I'm actually talking about like the display itself. Does it make sense?
Oh man. Hang on.
All right, I'm starting a map. Jim, you got this installed, don't you?
I don't have it installed, but I'm working on it right now. Are we still streaming, by the way, or are we done?
We totally are. So you started a server?
Yeah, but my mouse is being stupid.
Oh, it looks like the connecting thing will work, though. What the? Nice. Well, it works.
Yeah, I just gotta figure out why my mouse sensitivity is so fucked.
I haven't. You know what? I haven't seen you at all in the map, though.
I'm here.
I'm running around this entire thing. I joined your server. Oh wait, is that you right there? Yeah, there you are.
Looking down in the corner? Yeah.
That was you.
You are now in first place.
Okay, so I found you. Ah! Oh, interesting. So apparently there was some kind of connection glitch and it showed like an image of an Ethernet cable. Interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty typical for the time. It's like I have a roaming mouse. Like I look left, like I just tap it left and it keeps spinning left.
That's really weird. It's interesting though. While you were looking at your options, it looked like you were looking at like a data pad. That was kind of neat.
Was it a commander data pad?
Oh.
Was it fully functional?
Programmed with a variety of techniques. Yes.
There's an app for that.
I bet there is.
Or where are you?
I'm looking for you, man. Did you get your mouse working?
Nope.
Hey, does this one
Hi,
have
Fad
the
Man.
holodeck thing that has the Wild West scenario in it, so you can have the shootout in the OK Corral with phasers?
Is that a thing?
Oh yeah, that was
Yes.
in the first one or the second one.
That's funny.
See, I had this issue with my mouse while I was playing Homeworld the other day. Like it just like, for some reason, these old games, it was just not working right.
Bruce Brown on YouTube says that was Elite Force 1 that had the Western thing, which is, I guess, adapted from that awesome... Whoa, hey! I see you! I see you!
You are now tied for the lead.
Nice!
You are now in first place.
Apparently, I died.
I think you killed yourself. Ooh! Damn! I was gonna try to hit you with a batleth, but that didn't work. Ah!
Tied for the
If
lead.
they could have somehow
In your
merged
face.
this and Jedi Academy together, so you could have lightsabers.
Same engine. You probably could.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, dual lightsabers versus phasers. That'd be
Question
pretty-
is can you deflect the phasers?
That's a good question.
All right, you're gonna have to start one.
Okay. I will leave the match and start one. We're gonna do capture the flag. And I'm adding bots.
Are you guys in the Space Game Junkie party or the Table for Two party or what party are you?
I haven't
So
started the
Space Game
server.
Junkie. Space Game Junkie party
Space
ain't
Game
Evolve.
Junkie.
Right, but it says everybody's offline, so I don't even.
No,
Because I
you're
got my
offline
adapter
because
dead.
your adapter. Yeah.
All right, we're starting capture the flag with bots.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Match started.
I guess I'm on red. Okay.
You know, I'll say this for Alien Isolation. The alien is nothing compared to the frickin' synthetics that are walking around. Those guys are assholes.
Synthetics? You mean like Bishop?
Exactly like that, but they're a more primitive model, so they look obviously artificial. Like their skin isn't human. They look like somebody that's covered in white rubber,
Blue flag taken.
kind of thing.
I got the flag. Where are the bots, I wonder?
You have to add them in.
I did. I thought I did.
Blue flag captured. Your team is in the lead.
This is a neat map. Ooh, Quantum Burst. I wonder what that's about. I thought I added bots. I guess I didn't. I thought I did.
Oh, it's an acceleration issue with Windows 10.
What?
Interesting. I'm trying to diagnose my trying to fix this stupid thing with the mouse.
Oh. So yeah, folks, if you guys are listening on the audio stream later, this is the weirdest podcast we might have ever done. It's still better than that one, Jim, where we talked to that one guy, and he clearly didn't want to be there, and we clearly didn't want to be there. And
The one that wouldn't end. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Okay, so I've got 4 bots on blue, and 3 of us will be on red. And we're going to do capture the flag. Ooh, I like these modifiers. Like one of them is disintegration. It completely eliminates your opponent. Okay, let's see if the bots work this time. Ah, there they are. I think we're
5,
good.
4, 3, 2, 1. Match started.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, they're bots now.
Red flag taken. Your team has lost the lead.
I need better weapons.
Oh, I can totes run it in the window. How advanced.
That's what I'm doing. Running in the window. Oh!
Red flag captured.
Wow, there's an EF2 server with 5 of 8 players. That must be you guys.
I could really use some help here.
Blue flag taken.
Oh, crap, crap, crap. Oh, son of a
So
god.
it says the server is using protocol version 65.
What?
And then it sits awaiting challenge forever. Yeah.
What?
Maybe my version of the game is different than yours. Are you patched to 1.1?
I don't know.
Flag returned. Red flag taken.
Hang on. I could look. How do I tell that? I thought I was fully patched, but yeah.
Well,
at the
I'm
main
able.
menu.
I've been able to get into his games, dude. So it's got to be you.
Yeah.
Right, well, my version might be different than you two. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
So, alright.
All right, folks, we're going to call it a night. I want to thank you all for watching and listening. This week on Thursday, I'm going to be playing some RimWorld for the first time. That should be fun. Next week on the podcast, because I had to reschedule him. I felt really bad about that. But we're bringing the guy, Christian, who has Galactineers. You know, we're talking to, going to be talking to the developer of Galactineers next week.
My, what Galactineers you have.
And then
Better
next,
to hear you with.
and then next Thursday we'll be playing Pulsar. So Cortex Command isn't a space game, Fat Man. It doesn't apply to this channel. Sorry. So yeah, we're very
Cortex
niche here.
Command's awesome.
It's awesome,
Cortex
but
Command, unfortunately, lacks multiplayer, and I'm brutally
oh, that's
unhappy
right,
with
it
that.
does, doesn't it? Huh? Yeah, it's single player completely only. Cortex Command is not a bad game. It just doesn't really apply to this channel. So sorry, folks. But thank you for watching and listening to this crazy podcast. We're going to try and get Joe back on, and another time we'll do a test beforehand. We did, actually, and it's worked, and that didn't work, and that did, and that didn't. So, does it have co-op? Hang on. Wait. Fat Man is saying that it has co-op.
What does?
Cortex Command.
Nope. I have it installed right now. It might be local co-op.
Yeah, shared split screen. Yeah, that really doesn't help us, Fat
Yeah,
Man.
it doesn't do me anything.
Because I'm in Los Angeles and they're in North Carolina. And they're not even in the same part of North Carolina. They're like not even so yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it is,
'Cause
Joe.
one city couldn't contain our power.
Joe on Joe on YouTube, he's on there. He's like, first time in 3 years I've had ISP issues. It's Tuesday night, man. That's what Tuesdays do. I don't know what it is.
It's the Tuesday night internet follies.
It is a Tuesday thing. So we're going to reschedule you to come back on, Joe, probably in like a month, because that's like the first open slot we have. So thank you all for watching and listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.